Most businesses think they have a marketing problem. That isn't the case. Most businesses have a deeper issue, and that issue is trust. Their customers don't fully believe their promise, or if the company is making one at all. They're not consistent enough in proving it, and there's very little proof demonstrating that they should be trusted. And we live in an economy of very little trust these days. So trust is the new currency in this market that we're in. And as a result, that's where I come in. I work with companies to build one believable, relevant promise that their team can deliver on, and then create the stories around that promise to prove that promise is true. Over and over again, as that company proves that promise is true and shows and shares the stories that demonstrate that truth, trust builds. And as the trust builds, it shows up on the balance sheet. Here's a true story right here in the Syracuse market with CH Insurance. And rather than me sharing the story, I'll let the president of the company do that.
You worked with us religiously the first, I don't know, 5, 6 years. You're always working with us. But, the beautiful thing about you is it continues, meaning you got us there. We're still rowing. I have an idea. I can call you, right? I have an idea. You put the idea into reality, right? People out there are going to say, oh, I have a digital person. I have a media person. Well, they're placing ads. You're more than that. You're I call, the coach of the brand or next level stuff that makes you different. Any business owner, and it's not just insurance. And we now elevated, we got the HR Minute, we've got Risk Management Tuesday. I mean, we got so many things out there that we have ideas, and you help put them together. Started with that envisioning session, that maybe you want to get into. And one thing I would say that at least in our business, we're selling insurance, renewing insurance, managing the office, the marketplace, the issues, the staff, the this and that. We needed help. And you were that great resource that helped us get to that next level with bigger broker. Here's the family broker. Here's this. And it opened our eyes, Angela, to really what we do well. We can't be everything for everybody, but it helped narrow the path of what we could become. And it helped our culture internally. It helped our culture with our partner carriers. The storytelling of what we do day in and day out throughout the year. And it gravitated and morphed in something real big that, kept us in a straight line, but knew where we were going in the next 3 to 5 years. And from that, it spun off into other things that we
programs around that were offshoots of that primary brand, like your Boost program for group benefits. Oftentimes people think about marketing, maybe they use the word storytelling, but they think about taglines and in your corner was much bigger and deeper than a tagline. And can you talk about what it's done for your agency in terms of vetting out talent that maybe wasn't aligned with that North Star, as well as potentially attracting people and good talent that could be aligned with once that North Star was crystallized?
Right. I would say, from a culture standpoint, we live, breathe in your corner. So with an employee, right? Everything doesn't always go right, but were you in their corner, right? Did we do the right things to make the client better, make the service better, and truly being in their corner? From a standpoint of prospecting and different things that we do to get new business, it would cut the ice. I hope you're going to be in our corner today and you better take care of this and this. It makes the conversation less stressful. Dad always says, he's walking up or on a cart in a fairway. Hey, Joe Senior, are you in our corner? I mean, it's crazy.
Your storytelling and your promise should be an extension of your sales team. It's like putting 10 salespeople out there on the streets for you.
I
right?
agree. It's very powerful, a leave behind that's powerful. You taught us that. A proposal, enhancing a proposal that it's all got to be in sync. And you taught us that if everything's in sync, it makes the decision that much easier. It's still a relationship business, but it allows us to compete with the big brokers, the mega brokers. I'm not saying middle big is bad, but it it made us stand out. And we don't get every deal, but at the end of the day, this whole brand promise is all in sync with everything we're doing. And it led to radio. It led to some small TV commercials. It's led to YouTube videos. It's leading to Instagram. Now I'm into Instagram. I used to be Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter. Twitter's out. Now I'm just believing in Instagram and Facebook. And so
Well,
I'm,
congruence. And I think, because that's the nature of, this too, Joe, the nature of marketing and the nature of business is evolution and changing and adapting and being nimble and being able to meet people where they're at, whatever the platform might be evolving into. But the universal principle is there: be congruent, be known, be liked, be trusted, and create something that's different and relevant to allow you to compete in a way that others can't. All things mostly being equal, it's going to come down to your people, and it's going to come down to your promise, what those people are promising. And then are they keeping their promise? Are they congruent? And wherever I go, do I know I'm in the right place? I recognize it, I feel it, I see it. Whether I'm
yeah,
walking in your offices or your virtual offices, do I see? You can see on your background right now, hashtag in your
right.
corner.
Well, and when you come into the office, the energy is powerful. And it's when I say culture, this whole, forget just the mission, vision, and all of that, the brand promise and all that has helped us. you know, we all have good employees, but I can honestly say our 26 people are the best in the business, and they believe in this. And it starts with the leadership. It's not just me, my dad,
Absolutely.
your executive team. I don't care what type of industry you're in. You can't do it alone. But that's what I mean from a culture standpoint. When we're interviewing people, we bring this up proactively. Here's what we're all about. Oh yeah, we've seen you everywhere. We need you to believe in the same concepts because it's just
It's part of the CHDNA. I mean,
it's
it's the
the
marching
spark in the
orders.
DNA.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
from a region, we're huge into collaboration with chambers, banks, credit unions, and it makes things even better from that standpoint, even though they're not a client, but you collaborate with them with the right teams and network groups. It takes your business even with far. This, with CPAs and things of that nature. Is there a brand equity value? And there is a value. There is a value. You helped us. You worked with the accountants and our CFO here, and it's tangible. People are saying to me, my clients, who's the person that helps you? We need to get a vision and a brand, and they got great business savvy, but they don't understand the brand, the marketing, and they can sell and do all of that, but they got to have a story behind it. If you're ready to exit someday in any industry, you've always said this is an intangible, it's an important piece. By the way, here's our marketing system. By the way, here's our brand. Talk to any of our people, our clients. It's worth X. And it's not just in insurance, it's in every industry. At a Boston game or New York City, at an event, at an insurance convention out of this city, right? Buffalo, the biggest insurance day. Hey, Junior, are you in our corner? I mean, it's contagious. Angela, once or twice a year, they're sick of listening to me and our executive team. I love it when you perk them up and give a little energy and topics that make them better. And that's important too.
Yeah.
A lot of that comes at us with whatever industry you're in, but you bring that third party vision that they
Journey that
like.
we began all those years ago identified what was already intrinsic to the organization. We shined a light on it. We crystallized it into some powerful, memorable, and repeatable words, and we put it into play day after day, 1% by 1%, in a system, in a systemic way, and gathered the team around it. And here we are 14 years later,
And
and
we're still doing it. I just don't call
still
you.
building.
I just don't call you on weekends anymore. It's been, we're moving forward. But it's just great. And I would tell your viewers in this video, if they, feel free to check us out on social media, all the CH insurance platforms. Feel free to call me. I'd love to help. You know how we feel about you and our team and my dad. And we just thank you for being in our corner for all these years. Because that's what you think about it. You said it would lead to being in our corner for your vendors, carriers. I don't consider you a vendor. I consider you a coach and a leader, but you've been in our corner. I mean, that's, I mean,
Yeah.
that's how we think of things and what we do day in and day out in our business, but who we're dealing with as well. So kudos to you. And I appreciate everything you've done for us.
CH Insurance, we built them one powerful brand promise and then created stories to prove that promise is true. And year after year, they have reaped the benefits. They have some of the highest retention rates in the marketplace, renewal rates, and not only awareness, but likability, which is all important. People want to do business with people they like. So a little about me. I've been doing this work for over 2 decades now, and many of the local brands that you see in your marketplace, whether it's Chinatown Furniture, Napa, Tominelli, the list goes on, Stanley Law, of course, those brand promises have built those companies to be distinctive and differentiated from their competitors. And today, we infuse more and more trust and truth-telling in the testimonial-based storytelling that we design specifically, systematically for clients. That's why you would want to bring me into the equation with any one of your clients. Oftentimes I use the phrase, when you're inside the bottle, it's tough to read the label. It's true for you. It's true for all of us, including your clients or prospective clients. And so when you are able to bring an outside, more objective and credible voice, anyone that looks me up on LinkedIn can see nearly 85 or so recommendations from people around the marketplace that have testified to what their experience is like in working with me. And you can do the same if you look me up on LinkedIn and look at some of those true recommendations from account reps, media reps, to clients and business owners and stakeholders in the community. I invite you to do that. And I invite you to have a conversation with me about a specific prospect or current client that you feel is not reaching their full potential. They're stuck. Their storytelling isn't representative of who they are. I invite you to bring me into that conversation, and let's talk strategically about how we can grow that client for you, for them, for their employees, and have a positive impact all around. A rising tide lifts all boats. So my focus once again is simple. Make a promise, keep a promise, and then tell stories in a compelling and memorable way that prove that story is true and make the company irresistible. Help them to embody their brand, embody the brand story, and make them unforgettable.